It's pietkiewicz, by the way, just an FYI. So their names are Michael, Stanley, and Cole. 3 different males, 3 different generations, all have had a significant impact on my life, and really are part of the reason I'm here today, both literally and figuratively. The first is Michael. So Michael grew up in a small town in Poland in the early 1900s. It was during a time of political unrest. Russia ruled Poland. Poland was not a free country, so there was constant violent uprisings. The economy was bad, and there was kind of general turmoil in Europe during this time, kind of leading up to World War I. So Michael's parents decided they would save up money to send one of their kids to the United States. Michael had other siblings, but Michael was the oldest male of his family, and so he was deemed by his parents the healthiest and the most likely to survive a boat trip from Europe to the United States. So they saved up money, and they put him on a boat by himself, and he arrived in Ellis Island when he was 13 years old. He didn't know anyone, and he was never to see his family again. But that was okay, because he was in the land of opportunity, America. So he landed his first job working for a farm in Pennsylvania. The rest was history, and 3 generations later, I'm his great-grandson. Michael Pietkiewicz was my great-grandfather, and that's how my family really came to the United States. The second male is Stanley. Stanley grew up here in the 1960s in Maitland. He was an overweight as a child, and a lot of kids used to tease him and call him water buffalo for being fat. That still bothers him to this day. When he was in middle school, he went to a Rollins College basketball game and fell in love with the game of basketball, and decided he would spend the rest of his youthful years being the best basketball player that he could possibly be. Although numerous people told him slow white guards never make it in basketball, he ended up getting a scholarship to play basketball at Auburn University, where he met his wife. And then from there, he went on to play professional basketball in the NBA in Italy for 8 years. Stan Pietkiewicz is my dad, and to know me, I really inherited his love for basketball. Unfortunately, I did not inherit his skill, but you'll talk to my wife. My love for basketball is a huge part of my life, almost to a fault. High school, NBA, college, I'll watch it all. I still try to play whenever I can. Eventually, I want to get into coaching. And then also my dad, like a lot of kids, he was and still is, my role model. I look up to him a lot. He was a real good, Christian leader in our family. And recently, since becoming a dad, kind of my Christian faith has become a pretty big part of my life. So I wasn't as good a basketball player as my dad, but I was able to play at a small Division II school up in St. Augustine, Florida, Flagler College, which brings us to Cole. So unfortunately, when I went to college, I completely turned my back on the way I was raised, and I was just an immature, selfish knucklehead who really only cared about 2 things, and that was partying and playing basketball in college. During my senior year, I got my then girlfriend, and now wife, pregnant, and we decided to get married. I know what you guys are thinking. Geez, he really is breaking the ice today. So I was in a situation, I was 23, my goal was to eventually go overseas and play professional basketball, but I was in a situation where I needed to provide for a family, and so we decided to get married. And we were married for 5 months before my child was born, and I'll be honest with you, those first 5 months were very rough, and that was mostly all my fault. I was still selfish, young, immature. It was all about me. And then on January 3rd, 2012, Cole Stanley Pietkiewicz was born, and that completely changed my life. I was literally uprooted from this selfish person that I was, and immediately began this transformation of wanting to be a good dad and a good person, and a good husband most also. And I'm far from perfect, and I still have a long way to go. But I will say, almost 4 years from his birth, I'm happily married. I absolutely love being a dad, and we are expecting our second child in February. And Cole's birth led me to land a job here locally with C&L Commercial Real Estate, doing office brokerage, mostly office leasing and office sales downtown. And again, we're expecting our second child in February. So to summarize, Three males, three different generations, all have played a huge part on me being here today. Michael is my great-grandfather, born in Poland, and is literally the reason why I am here today and my family is here today in the United States. My dad, Stanley, who's really my role model as a Christian leader for our family growing up, and we should share this special bond of the love of basketball. It's really where I inherited the love for basketball from him. And then Cole, my son, who uprooted me from a life that was, honestly going down a bad path, and now motivates me every day to succeed at work and be a good husband and a good dad. Thank you.